Welcome to Been There, Watch That, your favorite movie and TV reviewers. Justin here with Joe and Dave, and back for a newer movie, American Beauty from 1999. Last time was Ford versus Ferrari from 2019. Joe maintains our website, BeenThereWatchThat.com. He keeps all that updated with our reviews. We use the popcorn scale. Burnt popcorn being for the real stinkers. We've had a couple of those that Dave was not too happy with. Small, medium, large, and then mop bucket, an ode to our local movie theater that is out of the park, the best movies you can get. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, BTWT Pod, and reach out to us if you have any movie recommendations, stuff you want to see us review.
Or that we've completely missed the mark on our reviews.
Yeah. A little feedback's always healthy.
American Beauty. Kevin Spacey leading the way with the lead role on this one.
This was Dave's pick.
Yep.
Yeah. An oldie but a goodie. Now this one, I don't know. I feel like this one's overlooked a lot, even though it had 5 Oscars or 5. It won something. 5. Let me go back here and look.
Yeah, I think Spacey got a nomination for the lead role in this one.
Yeah, took home 5 Oscars, including the coveted Best Picture statue. And here it is, 20 years old. So, Joe, you want to give us a rundown?
Sure can. So, the quick rundown is a sexually frustrated suburban father has a midlife crisis after becoming infatuated with his daughter's best friend.
High schooler, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So that kind of throws in that creeper value.
oh, yeah. Which Spacey pulls out pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Kevin
Yeah,
Spacey was magic in this.
Sexually frustrated, creepy dad. He's got that down.
So it stars Kevin Spacey as Lester Burnham, and Kevin also played in House of Cards, 21, and L.A. Confidential. And I noticed kind of similarity between House of Cards and the beginning of this movie, which we'll get that in a minute. Thora Birch played Jane Burnham, and she was in The Walking Dead and Hocus Pocus. Wes Bentley played Ricky Fitz, and he was in The Hunger Games and Yellowstone. Mina Savari played Angela Hayes. She was in American Pie. Peter Gallagher was Buddy Kane. He played in While You Were Sleeping and Law & Order SVU. And Chris Cooper played Colonel Fitz, and he was in October Sky, which is a movie based out of West Virginia. Homer Hickam, and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and Cars 3 is what Mr. Cooper is known for.
You know, and I thought he also knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
As kind of the bigoted, homophobic, I don't know about racist, but, you know, Marine, a retired Marine that...
Kind of hard-nosed.
Oh, yeah. Gritty, just guy. He nailed it.
He plays that role very well. Even in October Sky.
Yeah, October Sky is kind of the same mentality.
He plays that role
all
very
business,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
And, man, it blew me away. So remind me, there's a scene where he blows me away, and I'll see if you guys notice as well.
Yeah, I always liked him. The first time I saw him was October Sky, and it's like, man, this guy, like you said, Joe, it just, this role was made for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But this one is, in American Beauty, it's next level of degree of...
Yeah. Now, when was October Sky? Was it before or after this?
I'm going to say after, but let me look real quick.
I kind of think it was after as well. But I'm guessing this movie got him a lot of looks.
So critically acclaimed. I mean, definitely audiences liked it too. Not to too much of a spoiler, but 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Over 1 million votes. I mean, this is a movie that is out there. Big time. People know about and like.
American Beauty came out October 1st, 1999, and October Sky came out February 19th in 1999. So American Beauty came out after
Really?
October Sky. Yes.
And Joe, you've never seen this. For me, it had been years, but...
Yeah, I have not seen American Beauty.
Have you heard of it?
I had heard of it, but it's been a long time since I've heard of it, and never really knew the plot of the movie. The movie poster doesn't really give you any inkling of what's going on.
No idea, yeah.
And when Dave first pitched the movie to us, he told us that it had several plot lines. I was like, okay, I have a short attention span. I'll like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just my initial gut feeling was, what kind of movies Dave sending us on this? That
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it has Kevin Spacey on it,
And
but
Matt Benning. I mean, it's a lot of big characters here.
yeah, but it's like I
Or
don't know if
actors.
this is going to be.
actresses.
I don't know if I'm going to be entertained or bored for an hour and a half.
Well, the synopsis
Or
you
2
gave
hours.
that it's kind of centered around this dad who's a bit of a creep, but like Dave said, a lot more going on to it. There's a whole lot of other dialogue, like between the daughter and the neighbor, a boy in her high school that she kind of has a crush on,
Right.
and Chris Cooper's character and the tension going on there, and then his wife, running around with the real estate king.
Yeah.
Her whole little midlife crisis that she's having. So there's a lot of layers to it. It's, even though the kind of driving story in some ways is Kevin Spacey's creepiness.
And it's interesting, right at the beginning, basically they tell you how the movie's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out right at the beginning and says, if I knew I was...
He does tell you, but did you catch that, Joe?
Well, not until the end. Well,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. So, like when I watched it this time, I was like, "Ooh, that's slick." I don't
Yeah.
know that I noticed that before.
Yeah.
Which part?
Where he says, you don't know it's the last day of your life until.
Mm-hmm.
And if
right
I knew
now.
I knew that was going to happen, I would have did things differently.
Yeah.
And I found where I was talking about the House of Cards. Have you guys seen House of Cards?
Yep.
Okay. Did you guys notice? You know how in House of Cards he'll be in the scene, then all of a sudden he'll just stop, look at the camera, and kind of talk to you for a little bit. I found that to
I've
be
never seen House of Cards, by the way.
So the way House of Cards works is like he'll kind of narrate the scene for you as he's in the scene, and I found that kind of eerily similar with this, especially at the beginning where he starts talking and kind of narrating you through the story as you're seeing him on screen. I found that kind of interesting. I don't know if that was intentional when they did House of Cards to add that little aspect of it. Mm-hmm. If not, hey, that's a great just extra.
And some
Gotcha.
people hated that when he looked at the camera. They thought that it took it out of him, but other people liked it. So.
Yeah.
I never minded it. I thought it was,
For me, I always thought it kind of helped move the story along better,
Yeah.
to make sure that you didn't miss anything and keep up with it.
for some reason, I remembered this being like a really long movie, but it didn't feel crazy long to me. I mean, it's
Runtime was
over 2 hours.
runtime was 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Were
Yeah.
you, at any point were you feeling it's moving too slowly for you, or?
About an hour, between 45 minutes and an hour in, I was starting to get, but it almost seemed like when they flipped the switch to the point where the middle to the end of the movie picked right up at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
When they finally those two joined, it's like, okay, now we're picking up steam. It almost it kind of lagged there for a little bit, but then once they finally joined the two, it picked right up and got me back on track.
Nice.
And part of the big switch is just this total change in Kevin Spacey's character. The way
Yeah, the mental
he starts out
mindsets
just,
were.
totally kind of beaten down, and then he becomes just this renegade. Basically, he's not going to listen to anything his wife tries to tell him to do anymore.
Yeah, almost.
And then also at work, he just basically intentionally gets fired with severance by threatening to maybe say some things about some of the people with the higher ups there.
Yeah,
It
it's
wouldn't be good if this secret got out, would it? That sort of thing.
It almost like he had either a mental breakdown or he just snapped and was like, okay, yep, I'm done. I'm checking out. Let's just.
Well, did you notice, like, early on in the movie, they're at dinner, and it's a wide shot of the family at dinner, and he's, like, kind of slouched down, and his wife is, like...
Yeah,
the
she's
shot,
sitting up straight, prim and proper,
And he's just kind of...
listening to her music.
Yeah.
I thought, when he dropped his briefcase and it flew open walking down
Yeah.
the sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
and let me ask you, did the name Lester bother you at all for him?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Seemed to
not until
fit.
you mentioned that, but yeah, it could possibly.
Oh,
I mean, because Kevin Spacey doesn't necessarily look like a Lester.
No.
I
if
see.
that makes
No,
sense.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and I'm not saying Lester's a bad name. I'm just
Right.
saying certain people look like they fit their names,
Right.
you know. But Kevin Spacey doesn't look like a Lester.
Right.
But when you're right, Justin, when he's slouched and he's kind of, you know, just beaten up and beaten down, it kind of fit him, you know, and then he kind of worked his way out of that. But
Yeah, it's almost like when he snapped it, it was just like he literally just unloaded all of his luggage that he's been carrying around
Yes.
for years.
yeah.
and
Part of
said-
his whole thing was like he overhears his daughter's friend saying like, "If your dad worked out a little bit
Oh
more,
yeah.
he'd be."
A little motivation. He wanted to be hot for a
So then
teenager.
he's just in the garage, just pumping weights and like. Trying
Well,
to-
I like what he said. I'm gonna go well on my pecs.
Yeah. So here's what I just boggles my mind, that here this movie, you know, we don't know the age of his daughter's friend, and you know there's kind of innuendo of, you know, there could be possibly some illegal activities going on here, but this
Mhm.
movie was so critically acclaimed that just blows my mind.
Well, the only issue they had was Thora Birch had to do a topless scene, you know, where Ricky was videoing her between windows,
right.
and she was 17. Everybody else was 18, so it wasn't a big deal. But
Yeah, she had to actually get her parents'
yeah,
permission.
both parents had to be on set along with a child labor representative,
Yeah.
and they had to give permission, but they also had to be on the set during. So
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think. Here we are in 2021.
Yeah.
Like, just the bad
doesn't
stuff
seem
that
to be any rules.
Yeah, that I remember when the South Park movie came out, and literally our local Roby Theater, if you was under the age of 17, that your parents had to drop you off and basically say, yeah, this is my kid, you can let them go in and watch the South Park movie.
Mhm.
But yet this movie is so critically acclaimed, and there's so many going moments in it.
Oh
that-
yeah.
It just boggles my mind.
Well, I thought there was a lot of, you know, on the fun facts pages and stuff like that, there's a lot of, you know, who all interviewed for the parts and so forth, these big A-list names, but I thought they nailed the cast.
Yes.
I mean, I had to look up and see who Ricky was. I mean, the cat looks familiar, but I didn't really, you know, it's kind of like, man, he did an outstanding job
Yes.
of playing a teenage boy that's a weirdo.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He was one of my favorite characters. I thought
Yeah, easy.
the way he brought a totally different vibe to his scenes and some different layers.
And I thought they made him look so smart because, like, you know, when his dad breaks in and bounces into his room and, you know, and hits him and throws him down and says, "Get up and fight." And he goes, "I will not fight you, Dad." And he says something, he's like, "Don't give up on me, Dad." You know, and I'm just like, he's spitting out, regurgitating answers that he knows his dad wants to hear.
Right.
And I was like, he pulled it off.
Now,
Pulled it
what-
off. I believed it.
While at the same time being basically a drug dealer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just mean I believed it when
Yeah.
he, you know, when he threw those lines out. I was like, real deal.
Now, one thing that just got me was, okay, his dad goes in there and pulls the sock drawer open and sees the hole for the hidden compartment, but never touches. Like, really?
I don't know. They saw the hole.
Well, I mean,
Or is that a
Dave,
different
it's
drawer?
a pretty decent sized hole. I mean, are
Yeah.
you really going to overlook that, especially knowing your son's past?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny though that, you know, I don't know how his dad wouldn't look in the refrigerator and see the cups of pee. That's the one that got me. I was like, man, if I was going to look through, would you at least glance and say, "Kid's got a refrigerator in his room. Let's see what's going on here."
Yeah.
But, you know. Anyway. So I thought the actors and actresses across the board were spot on. Annette Bening did a bang-up job. You know, I like the guy that the king of real
Yeah.
estate. I thought he fit it to a T.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of a pompous guy, had the look. You know,
I've seen him in a lot of stuff too. He's
yeah.
pretty entertaining usually.
And the storyline, the main plot line of Lester being killed or dying, we're just led to believe he's going to die, but all the way through, there's these little hints of, okay, yeah, it could be this one or it could be this one. I mean, it's taking you on this wild ride, and literally until the last minute of the movie,
Mhm.
it's not who you think it is.
Did you think it was going to be Annette Bening?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
Well,
you see her get out her gun, you see her say, "I will not be bullied," and she's going through her speech, and I'm like, yep.
Well, and what sold me was when you see the gun to the back of his head, Lester's head, it's like, okay, that's the same color gun, so it has to be her. I mean, and then once they start showing you the flashes of where everybody was when it happens, it's like, oh crap, I didn't even.
Well, and that's like even when his daughter's joking with Ricky about it. Hey, why don't you kill my dad?
Yeah,
He's like, okay.
Yeah, and then
He's kind of like, all right,
Well, and then they show you the whole, he's kind of a creeper walking around with the video camera and all that, and he just a little half bubble off is like, okay, yeah, this is completely inside the realm of possibility of him doing something like this.
Oh, yeah. Little hints of, like a dead bird video and stuff like that.
And even for me, knowing from when I watched it years ago who killed him, I was still able to sit there and appreciate it and be like, not that I thought something totally different was going to happen, but I could still, like, the movie could take me along and still give me that same, like, oh, well, it could go either way, even though I knew what was going to happen.
Right, it still pulled you in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did a good job with that ending.
What did you think of Annette Bening's character, Carolyn? Did you like her, not like her? Did you feel like she was fair? Did she get what she deserved?
I felt kind of sorry for her. I did, in some ways.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. Just, like, times when she couldn't get the property sold, and she'd be, like, crying and, like, hitting herself. She had some issues. So.
I say she got what she deserved.
I kind of agree. I mean,
plenty of
cheating on her family, kind of, and I didn't understand the part where
treated Lester like crap.
Yeah, she's like, he lost his job, and he's like, I'm getting paid for the year, so didn't lose my job. And I was like, he just got a huge deal. He gets all his benefits, gets his pay, and he gets to stay at home and do whatever.
Yeah, he basically set himself up for a year worth of vacation.
Yeah, or in my mind, I was like, man, he can do some jobs around the house.
Yeah.
This is a great deal. And she's like, yeah, now I'm the sole breadwinner. I'm like, no, he still had his salary. So
yeah
I didn't feel too bad
Lester
for her.
Would get a zinger in on her, you celebrate a little bit. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Get her, Lester.
Yeah,
she's definitely the heel in some ways.
When they pull up at the drive-thru and she just all over the real estate king, and Lester just lets her have it right there. It's like, yes, that.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't throw her food at her.
Yeah, I was waiting on that. I was literally just waiting for a milkshake to go through the car window. I was hoping for it. I was rooting for him. I was going, come on, Lester, just.
I like the interview process at the fast food restaurant as well. Yeah. The poor kid sitting there as the manager's like,
I don't think you fit in here.
Yeah.
Are you going to deny me a job?
Yeah. I like it where he points at. He's like, I have experience. He's like, dude, that's 30 years ago. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but surely, you got a training program or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Lester's so smart about it. The kid's like, oh, gosh, why is this? What? Why
did I have
why did this fall in my lap today? Yeah. And I like the girl that was helping him at the drive-thru. I thought minor role, but I thought that was awesome. She just nailed it.
Yeah.
Busted.
Well, I like how just his whole attitude is, he's not like mad at her. He's just, he's so like deadpan, just like, you can't tell me what to do ever again.
Yeah.
His whole switch in character in the movie is just pretty entertaining.
So here's one of those little hidden tidbits that a lot of people don't know. When we're there at the dinner table and he takes and throws the asparagus, he was just supposed to throw the asparagus onto the floor. So their reactions, those were legit. Those was completely unexpected.
Because he threw the whole plate?
Yeah, when he threw the whole plate.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in here. Like her meltdown after she failed to sell the house, that was a one-take deal.
Really?
Yeah, she did it all in one take. Let me see. There's something else in there. They used honey tobacco as a weed prop, but their reactions were all like Kevin Spacey wasn't supposed to laugh when Annette Bening came out after her little evening deal with the realtors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to laugh, but he started laughing, and then Ricky joined in laughing, and then they kept it because it was spontaneous. And then
yeah, and it works so well. I mean, it doesn't. Knowing that now, it's one of those parts is like, okay, I can't see why they wouldn't have it. I mean, it didn't take you out of the moment. It was just those little things. It's like, now that you know the extra facts, that's even funnier.
Yeah, and when the masturbation scene in the bedroom, they had to do that 10 times because Annette Bening couldn't keep from laughing. But and they also told him, they're like, listen, just ad-lib some of your own terms. Just make them up as you go, and we'll shoot it. He ended up doing 35 different terms, and they cut it down. But
wow.
Yeah. but they want it to be funny. They want it to be kind of less rehearsed, more spontaneous. So, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I did find this interesting. The title of the film, American Beauty, it actually refers to a breed of roses that, while pretty and appealing in appearance, is often prone to rot underneath at the roots and branches of the plants. So, the tagline, "Look closer," tells the viewer that when they look beyond the perfect suburban life, they will find something rancid at the root.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and red flowers were used throughout the movie. Like she had roses out in the front yard. They always had red flowers on her dinner table.
Roses in the tub in Lester's fantasies.
And I think the poster is iconic, but that wasn't the girl that played the main girl.
Okay, it wasn't?
No, it was in an Instagram post last year, Mad Men star Christina Hendricks revealed that she was the hand model whose hand appeared on the poster. However, the stomach belonged to Chloe Hunter. So how does that happen? They mash up two different ladies to do the poster.
Yeah, we like your stomach, but we don't like your hand.
I know, that's kind of crazy.
Wow.
How that all comes together.
I did not realize that this was a Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And they had 5 alternate endings.
Really?
Well, no, hold on, sorry. They had 2. But they screened the one and nobody liked it. And that ended, the one that nobody liked that they originally were going to go with was Ricky and Jane filmed the murder and got caught, had to go to court, and then
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
like
they're like, nope, not going to be done. So they had to reshoot it all.
Yeah, I can see that not taking off.
Yeah.
But the way it ended, it was almost perfect.
Oh yeah.
Where if they did the original ending, that just kind of drags it out, and you're just rolling your eyes at that point.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Spielberg directed?
Yes. Yeah, he read the script on a Saturday night, and he arrived at DreamWorks offices the following Monday, and he said, "Let's make this movie, and let's not change a word."
Yeah, they bought it. Alan Ball's script for DreamWorks. Spielberg did.
And the tagline, "Look closer," can actually be seen at Lester's cubicle at work. It was simply something a set dresser had put in, and director Sam Mendes noticed it while editing and suggested that they used it for the poster. So the tagline was an afterthought.
Also directed by Mendes and produced by Spielberg.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. What do you guys think of the CG with the rose petals kind of flying around and stuff? A little bit of a surreal scenes they do sometimes.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of those surreal scenes, but I mean, I understood the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of in La La Land daydreaming, so it can be a daydream.
Yeah.
I didn't think it hurt it.
Yeah, and the CG didn't look bad or anything for 1999. Which
the CGI kind of aged well.
Could have gotten bad.
Yeah.
They didn't try to do too much, I don't think, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Now
do you have any factoids? Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Justin.
Well, do you guys have any factoids on that famous plastic bag in the wind scene?
I liked
where they
it.
got that
I liked it.
footage?
Yeah, the guy, one of them had experienced that before but didn't have a camera or anything. He's like, man, this is a memory that I have that I wish I'd have had a camera, but he says it's been super odd, so let's, incorporate it.
Yeah, because the boy that Lester's daughter kind of has a crush on, and they develop a relationship. He's like this huge kind of, what would you call him? A little bit emo and kind of very artsy.
Yeah.
And into film big time. His whole room is full of these little
Oh,
cassette tapes.
yeah, tons of cassettes.
And that's a pretty famous scene in the movies. Yeah, just he sees this beauty in a windy day and a just a trash bag, like a grocery bag flying around.
Did you notice that they used that at the very end of the movie as well? Kevin Spacey repeated what he said.
No.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Now, so I'd seen the plastic bag clip, kind of knocked off and remade and poked fun of over the years.
They had it in
never figured out
movie,
where it came from.
Yep.
There was even a clip online of Family Guy, them doing that, the bag scene.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how they got it. Did they put some fans on to recreate that?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be hard to do, but I'm sure they could work it out.
Or somebody actually had that footage and they had really done that in real life. where that came from.
Yeah, and the line is, he says something like, it's so beautiful. I just, I almost was, I can't remember exactly what he said. It was so beautiful I had to explode, or, I just couldn't contain all the emotion that it brought to me. Something along those lines. But yeah, the writer Alan Ball had his own little plastic bag encounter.
So speaking of Alan Ball, did you catch when Carolyn was listening to the self-help tapes?
Yeah.
That the tapes were made by Dr. Alan Ball.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
that
not
was the
catch that.
screenwriter.
Nice. Well, back to I just saw this here. I looked up the profound encounter. So that was Alan Ball's encounter, and he said there's a Buddhist notion of miraculous within the mundane. And he said, that was he said, we live in a culture that encourages us not to look for that. But he felt that was a good junket for Ricky to have, that he's looking for these little miracles in the mundane. And that was something they focused on for him. And I thought that was awesome because, yeah, like you said, Justin, he kind of was in that little niche crowd of being super weird, and he pulled it off of these little...
Yeah, sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it, and my heart is just going to cave in.
Yeah. Lester says that at the end, and that's what Ricky says. That's kind of like his closing line with the daughter. So, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and they come downstairs. Her dad has been shot, and Ricky's kind of just like,
oh yeah,
staring at it like it's an art.
When he turns his head,
picture.
Looks at him, and kind of smiles, I'm like, that's right up his cat's alley.
Yeah.
He's been just waiting to see
Like
somebody
seeing
dead.
The beauty in a guy dead on the floor.
Yeah. Pool of blood and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just the way they played the ending scene out. I mean that. I'm speechless here, guys. As bad of a situation as it is,
yeah.
it is so well done.
Yeah, it's poignant.
Yes.
And I like that he was looking at a picture of his family, and I almost wonder if he wasn't sitting there saying, you know what, it all went to crap, but I'm going to make it work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He finally had an aha moment.
I'm going to circle back to the retired Marine, his lifestyle. I thought the way he pulled off that scene where he's standing out in the rain, he walks in and kisses Kevin Spacey. What a complete, and I forgot from the first time I watched it, what a complete shocker and how good that scene played out.
Yes.
I just mean, he walks in and you can tell that there's something weighing on his mind after all his homophobic rants against the two gay guys that were jogging and, introduced themselves as neighbor. I cannot believe that's what he threw down.
Yeah, because that caught me completely.
Oh yeah,
off
that's what I mean.
guard.
I was even watching it again this time. I was like, I forgot.
Yeah, when he walked into the garage, I thought, okay, this is it.
I thought he was gonna kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, okay, this is because anybody that hasn't seen the movie, Colonel Fitz is in an uproar because he catches his son over in the garage with Lester.
And it looks sexual, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just from his perspective.
So Colonel Fitz and his son get in this argument, and he tells his dad, "It's like, yeah, I'm gay," which he's not.
Right.
But he knows that'll get under his dad's
He tells him
skin.
he's basically prostituting himself too. Which is
I got all this money for being a prostitute. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
just to piss his dad off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he throws his dad over the edge, and his dad just shows up in Lester's garage.
Yeah, he's standing outside in the rain, and Lester looks out his window and sees him, and he's like, huh. So he opens the garage door, he's like, oh. And, I kind of cringed a little bit watching it again because they kind of played into that. He's like, oh, you poor thing, let's get you out of these clothes. And I'm like, dude, he lives next door. He can go home and get his own clothes, you know.
I kind of...
Yeah, they did that little
They
bit
set up the whole,
But I kind of bought into the idea of, okay, Lester's not mentally stable. I mean, at this point, it's well documented that he's not
All right, hold
mentally
on.
stable.
Let's back up.
Okay.
Joe, I would say it's fair to say that, you're not mentally stable.
Well, that's...
No.
I don't have it documented, but yeah, I'm fully...
I'm joking, but you and I are neighbors, and if I were to show up at your house wet, is there any possibility where you think you'd be so mentally unstable you'd say, oh, you poor thing, let's get you out of those clothes?
No, but
All right,
there's different levels of... Okay,
I can
but-
trust... You can trust as well that I will not offer you that comfort. If you come to my house, I'll be like, Joe, get in your car, drive yourself 2 miles home. Then you can do whatever. I'll give you a towel.
Right.
Dry yourself off a little,
Right.
but keep your clothes on by all means.
Okay, but
And never will you hear me utter, let's get you out of those clothes, you poor
okay,
thing.
but let me throw it down the argument of okay. So we have proven that Lester is not mentally stable because
Yeah.
he's fallen in love with his daughter's friend that we're going to assume is underage.
Now, I'm going to say this, though.
His wife he's caught his wife fooling around.
Uh-huh.
He's quit his job. Literally, the man has documented from 2 minutes into the film that he is not mentally stable. So I am
All right,
not
hold on. Time out.
I cringe. I'm with you, Dave.
I'm giving you the big time out here.
Hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I cringed as well, but looking at it, it's like, okay, yeah, this is not completely outside the realm of possibility. Now, on the Colonel Fitz side of things, like, yeah, I was not expecting that.
So let's back up, though, on those 3 facts.
Okay.
One, every day men and women have midlife crises that are just crazy. Bat crap crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's terribly unusual to see an older guy go after a younger girl or an older lady go after a younger guy and be like, ooh,
Right.
So documented cases across the board of that happening since
Okay.
the beginning of
Right.
time.
Right.
Secondly, losing his job, yeah, that happens every day. Somebody loses their job. He came out with a great deal of it because he was smart. And thirdly, his wife cheating on him. Yeah, welcome to America. Over 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be a case around here as much because we're in rural West Virginia, but still plausible. So I don't know that those 3 things are cases to make him mentally unstable.
But,
now, is he off his rocker? Yes.
But he got hit with all those just bam, bam, bam all at once.
But everybody does. I mean, if you're getting in a divorce, I'm going to guess, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm going to say, hey, it's probably because one's cheating on the other, not a big deal. Some people reconcile or whatever,
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, my point is, I don't know that makes him so mentally unstable that he gets throughout the line of, hey, you poor thing, let's get you undressed.
No. I'm not saying that just one of those events will cause you to be
Sure.
mentally unstable.
All 3.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's getting hit with just
Right.
bang, 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 just all of it thrown at you at once. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you have to break it. There's got to be a breaking
Oh, there's a
point.
breaking point. I'm just saying, I'll go back to this. Joe and Justin, you can be in the same category. I'm never going to say, you poor thing, let's get you out of this place. Ever.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
He
And
says
Dave-
it kind of weirdly, too.
I'm going to give you a towel and say, hey, dry yourself off. Don't drag water through the house. But rest assured, you're going home dressed as you are.
Well, Dave, as
If
a
you
friend,
wanna change.
as a friend and knowing you for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
I appreciate that sentiment that you're not going to offer that.
And it's not because I'm uncaring or unfeeling or it doesn't have anything to do with any sexual issues. It's just
Creepy.
You live 2 miles away. You can go dress yourself.
Right.
I mean, it's just a grown-up version of, hey,
not like
go
it-
dress yourself,
Yeah,
man.
We're not talking hypothermia or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe
Now,
a little chilly.
true. Now, if it's 10 degrees out, you wrecked your car in the creek or whatever. Hey, here's a towel. Go get you a warm shower. I'll throw some clothes in there at you.
Yeah.
Take care of business.
Right.
But in no manner am I going to say you poor thing. I'm just going to be Joe. It sucks you had a wreck and you're in the creek and you're cold or whatever. But take care of business. Here's some clothes. I'll see you when you get done. Okay.
Right. Okay, so for
That's my point. I just felt like that was over the top.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the record, I'm not justifying that whole scene at all. So
No, I understand. I see what you're saying.
I'm
It's
just-
plausible in
yeah,
your. I got you.
I can completely see your guys' standpoint of
Yeah.
they was kind of reaching for that one.
Yeah, I thought they
But
were.
on the flip side of the coin, from my standpoint, there is a little nugget of
Validity
okay,
to it. Yeah. And I agree. When I watched it this time, I just cringed a little. I was like, you probably could have done that in a different way and still hit the same mark.
right.
Like he could have said, hey, is there, you look upset or, is there something bothering you? You look terribly
Yeah, they
distraught.
could've- yes.
What's going on here? Let me show some concern, but not you poor thing. Let's get you out of those clothes.
Yeah, they could have taken a different route to get to
Yeah.
the same destination. Okay,
That's my point. That's my point.
That I'll agree with 100%.
So anyway, but in my mind though, that was one of the most poignant scenes.
Yes.
I mean, that was just
Jarring.
yeah, jarring's a great word for it, Justin. Good job.
Yeah, because, you're not quite sure why he's going over there. It's not necessarily doesn't look super menacing. You know that he was, in some way, really ticked off that maybe possibly his neighbor is, having these inappropriate relationships with his teenage son. So you think, well, yeah, maybe he's going to go over there and beat him up. And then what ends up happening, and it's this former Marine, absolute, by the by, straight
Yeah, straight, narrow.
military haircut.
Yeah.
and openly saying like, "Can you believe?" Like, because they have gay neighbors. Like, can you believe they just throw it in our face like that? So, you know.
Yeah, I figured he was just going to. I didn't think he was going to beat up Lester. I figured he was going to kill him
Yeah.
right there on the spot. Like, this is the end of the movie, and this is how it ends.
Yeah, and then Lester shuts him down, saying, "Oh, whoa, you got the wrong idea."
Yeah.
But even that, I was like, "You gave him the wrong idea."
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's what I saw him stand outside the garage. The original, the first time I watched him, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna beat him to death, like he beat his son. You know, he's gonna come in, throw him punches, and just beat him to death in his own garage, and be like, yeah."
Yeah, and apparently, I mean, he's been closeted probably for 40 years or something. Or he's got some sort of issues that.
Wow. Look at his wife. I mean,
oh yeah.
How mind blowing was that when she's just sitting there staring into space, and
you have to say her name like 3 times to get her to.
Oh yeah, and where he's like, "Hey, I'm leaving." She's like, "Okay, it's raining. Take your raincoat." You know, that's.
Yeah, it makes you wonder just what kind of home life they have going on over there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
and it's no wonder the son's the way he is.
Yes. It's kind of crazy. You kind of, you think, and you see stories of, military dads that are just super hard on their kids and their family. And, and you got to feel sorry for that situation, which, I mean, it's bad no matter if it's the military or not. It's a bad situation. But she really played that as well to a T.
Well, because the Lester household, it's got its weirdness and it's not great. Like, his relationship with his daughter is not good, but then contrast it to the kid next door. He's got it way worse over there.
Yeah.
He's got a comatose mom.
I don't know. Having your dad wanting to hit on your friend at 17, 16, 17, that's pretty messed up too.
Okay, so now here's a parallel that I did not realize till literally we were just sitting here talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris Cooper, hard-nosed, go by my own rules, and then his wife kind of, you have to, hey, over here.
Mm-hmm.
October Sky.
Yeah.
Similar situation.
Similar mentality.
Mm-hmm. And then remember when they think the mine shaft's closed in, and his wife, she just kind of spaces out and is like, I told him, and if he dies, I will not shed a tear.
Yep.
It's like, oh, wow.
Similarity, and they both released around the same time, which is kind of eerie.
Yeah, kind of. I don't think there's any connection between the two, but just kind of eerily similar that Mr. Cooper's in 2 completely different movies that have kind of little situations sprinkled in both of them that are very similar.
So with the 2 teens going to New York, I was scared/nervous for them because I was like, man, 2 teenagers leaving on a rainy, dark night going to New York.
Yeah, that's just
to set up shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess
big decision.
He knew some people, but still, yeah. He had a couple friends, but yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those. I just had.
Where were they? Where was the film based?
I don't know. I just had bad idea written all over it.
Chicago.
Well, while Joe's looking that up, I'll just throw out the budget real quick. $15 million estimated. Ended up when it's all said and done, making over $300 million. Worldwide.
They knew that going in too. I mean, somebody knew because they interviewed a lot of people. Like they were talking with. Let me go back up here and try to find it.
Opening weekend, 800,000 though. That doesn't seem like a huge opening weekend.
Well,
I think the poster kind of throws off a lot of stuff.
Well, and it was also released in October, so October's kind of a slower movie time anyway. Because you're coming off the summer rush and people's getting ready for the big Christmas movie lineup. Okay, the storyline was set in the Chicago suburbs, so he was right.
Yeah, Chicago, that's what I thought. But I mean, they had looked at the role of Angela, Kristen Dunst, Brittany Murphy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Katie Holmes. They all turned it down. Kate Hudson, Tiffany Thesson.
To play which role? The friend?
Yeah. And then they had Seth Green and Jake Gyllenhaal to play Ricky. Jessica Biel was initially to act as Jane.
You could see Gyllenhaal, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And I was going to say
Ricky
that
did
list
a
of
good job.
names. I mean,
So,
those are
well, hold
all
on.
people that
Oh, it gets better. So
you could
before,
even see in these roles.
oh yeah, before Spacey, they had Chevy Chase, Tom Hanks. They turned it down. On top of that, Costner, Travolta, Willis, Daniels, Harrelson were all considered.
Chevy Chase, I could not see in that role. Tom Hanks, possibly.
Yeah,
'Cause
I can't really see either one of them, to be honest with you.
I could see more Tom Hanks than Chevy Chase because when I'm thinking Chevy Chase and when Lester snaps, I'm thinking Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation snaps. It's like I'm too busy laughing.
Yeah, kind of a silly. And that's why I say I kind of see Tom Hanks. Like Tom Hanks was in, what was the one where he stranded on the island? Castaway.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a serious role there where, I don't know. I just see too much comedy bleeding over on Tom Hanks as well.
Well, I don't know. He did pretty good with Forrest Gump.
Yeah. That's a little bit different, though.
Right. I mean, there are some scenes that I think Chevy Chase would knock out of the park, but just kind of an overall deal. Like the situations where I sit there and laugh at Lester, I think Chevy Chase could have really knocked it out of the park on, made it even better, which is hard to say, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Spacey did such a great job, but there's just some of those other scenes I don't think I could buy into the idea of Chevy Chase doing.
Yeah, I agree. And then they had Holly Hunter and Helen Hunt considered for Carolyn, but I thought Annette Bening, her voice and the way she said things,
Yeah.
just a home run.
Yeah, she just comes off as that prude. I'll
Yes, yeah. She was able to carry it with her voice.
Yeah.
Remember that scene? They had a little bit of their like trying to. He's like, "You used to be fun." They were trying to rekindle things a little bit, and then she like looked over and saw that he's about to like spill a beer on the sofa. And
Yeah.
that whole scene.
Yeah, I'll just use
It's
prude.
like just for 10 seconds they were kind of like.
Might patch this up.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
it just goes.
Now, and realize that would have saved his life. Because he wouldn't have called the guy to come over and bring him pot. Wouldn't have had the whole scene. The military dad next door wouldn't have came by and shot him.
That's crazy. You're right. Yeah.
That would have
At that
saved
point,
his life.
had
She
she
could have
already-
saved his life.
Had she already cheated on though at that point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So that might have
he
come
was
up.
willing to forgive and move on. And, he wouldn't have, because she kind of turned it
Oh,
around.
yeah,
He had the bad
yeah.
night. The daughter came over with her friend.
Yep.
So it all went sideways.
Yep.
And they had red flowers on the living room table as well. During
Yeah, they
that
were-
during
Did
that
not
scene,
notice
they were
that.
everywhere. Yeah, they
Throughout
parked
the
over.
movie, yeah, I noticed a couple times.
That was Sixth Sense that they used flowers a lot of in the movie. And basically, if there was a certain color flower, that was told you when there was ghosts in the scene.
Yeah. So neat stuff. Good film. So yeah, you guys are
Oh,
welcome.
time
You guys
out.
are welcome.
Time out. Good feeling.
Film. Good film. Good film.
Okay, good film. Okay, I'd
Yeah,
like to say good
you're
feeling.
welcome. I was just rushing to get to either
I'd
you're
like to say good
welcome
feeling. I
part.
was like, now wait a minute. A guy
You're
dies,
welcome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check
Oh, yeah,
American
it's,
Beauty off the list and give it an A++.
Happy-go-lucky film.
Bam. You guys are throwing down like Howard the Duck and Mad Max, and I'm here doing the real work.
Now, time out. Let the record show that Dave said we had to sit through Mad Max 2 because it was so much better. And
It was so much better.
Now,
Didn't say it was good. I just said it was better.
Yep.
yeah, I think
Kinda
getting
like
a kick in
dirt
the crotch
instead
was
of-
much better, but I didn't sign up for that.
Much better. You know it was much better.
Yeah, anything else you guys want to cover? Or should we throw out some ratings?
I'm good with ratings.
Let's do
We,
it.
we know you're a mop bucket.
Oh, hands down, Mop Bucket City.
Really?
Oh, the acting, they nailed it with the characters, the way the film is laid out. Like I say, the only thing I have against this film is, oh, you poor thing, let's get you out of those clothes. That is the only thing. And you talked me into being, well, that's not that far fetched. So yeah, Mop Bucket overflowing.
Okay, so
Home run, grand slam.
here's how crazy this film is.
Mhm.
That the creepiest part is these two guys in the garage, and here, let me help you out with that. And we're completely glossing over the whole idea, the whole concept of him
Being a pedophile.
Yes.
Well, no. Hold on. I meant the worst part about the film, as in the worst part of directing, writing, executing it.
Okay.
Everything else I thought was home run city.
Right.
Nowhere did I look at any other scene and not believe it. Like even when he's hitting on the friend, the girl, getting ready to live out his fantasy, real. I thought that was, they both, and when she got scared about it was kind of like telling him the truth, and I was like, yeah, I can see she pulled that role off.
All the scales just fell off his eyes because then he was like not about it at all.
Yeah, he's like, nah, she's not the little vixen that I thought. She's actually this timid teenager that's just scared.
Yeah, that was.
And his humanity in the situation came to the front quick, and I was just like, yeah, that's bam, believable.
Crazy movie, I'll say that.
Yeah,
It is twisted,
it is definitely twisted.
but so well done in a lot of ways.
Oh, gosh, yeah, so well done. It needs a better poster for sure.
Yeah, the poster.
But how do you wrap all that up in one poster?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, classic poster, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's iconic.
Yeah.
So
Joe, what do you think?
yeah, Joe, throw it out there, buddy. What you
Okay,
got?
so I am kind of teetered. When I first started the movie, it was going to be a medium all the way, but then that blow up of an ending caught me out of nowhere. So I'm teetering between overflowing medium and a large. I'm right there.
Time out. What did you give Howard the Duck?
Small.
And this is just one size better?
Oh no, it's a size.
I mean,
and a
the
half.
acting alone, with Jennifer Jason Leigh throwing out her crazy dumb lines that a fifth grader would throw out better. You're saying this is only one bucket better?
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. You're entitled to your choice. I'm just...
Well, no, that's what
I got to
said.
argue that one, Joe.
I said I was overflowing medium and possibly large. So,
Oh, gosh.
so based on
Jeez
how
Louise.
well the ending's what sold me, because
Yeah.
it was a solid
Oh,
medium
yeah,
all the
yeah.
way through. And then when it finally flipped on me,
Yeah.
it was a good large bucket.
All right, going with large. Okay, so overflowing mop, large. Justin, where do you fall here?
Well, I'm not a resounding mop bucket, but I can't go lower than a mop bucket either, Dave. I'm going to have to agree with you, and I'll join you in the mop bucket club on this
Okay.
one.
All right, well, let it be. It has been said, and it is so. This is a mop bucket movie.
Not certified mop bucket.
A little bit above Joe's pay grade, but
Yeah, I mean,
It was
certainly weird, and I mean, doesn't leave you with the greatest feeling ever, but in some ways it is. I
it's
don't know.
creepy across the board.
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Joe. You're looking at a pedophile. You're looking at a homophobic deal. You're looking at, crazy wife, cheater. The guy's trying to cheat with a teenager.
Sadness.
He manipulates the situation.
But
His daughter that he's messing
Daughters,
with.
messed with. The kid next door is weird.
But I have to say, a lot of these movies that have like all these underlying plot lines of like there's so much bad happens, like you're rolling your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This had a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't catch myself rolling my eyes going, okay, that was a bit much. We didn't,
Yeah.
The Sandra Bullock movie where she was in space with
Yeah, Kevin, or not,
George Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that I liked that movie till the end. The ending was horrible because it was like, okay, really, that all that bad stuff happened, and now this is on top of it. At that point, I walked out of the movie theater rolling my eyes, and I loved the movie up to that point. I still think it's a great film, but the ending was just so horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now you're just piling on bad just to be piling on bad. This was so well written that there's so much bad that happened. I was still engaged, but I didn't feel like I was getting beat over the head with bad stuff happening.
Yeah. Which, I mean, realistically, 20 years later, a lot of this is the norm. Like I say, guys and women go through midlife crisis where they chase younger partners and, buy hot rod cars and don't care about their job anymore. People get divorced. People lose their job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I don't know, was able to find a way to have comedy without any part of it being like goofy comedy. Like, there's great acting, but funny and kind of sad situations that you had to laugh at.
Yeah, kind of unintentional comedy. Yeah.
What do you think was the funniest scene?
Oh, man, put me on the spot.
Well, okay, so I'll rattle off a couple. The masturbation scene.
In the shower.
No, in bed.
Yeah,
in bed when she catches him and she's
That
appalled
one,
by it.
yes.
I liked it when he's like, well, I'm ready. Sitting in bed
He's
and
in his pajamas.
Yeah, in
arms
his
crossed,
pajamas,
kind of
yeah.
pouting like, well, nobody else has any
Yeah.
interest in me. So.
that, and I liked it when she walked into the living room or where he was sitting with the remote control car, and the car is in the foyer where she walks in.
Yeah.
And he hits the gas and hits her in the feet, and he's not even looking.
Yeah,
but he's
that-
sitting there giggling about it because he knows what's happened.
Yeah, and I think that was completely unscripted.
Oh, I'm sure because
Let me see.
how would he know it's going to hit her in the? Well, I guess someone else could be controlling it. But anyway, so yeah,
that's
I
fine.
giggled at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look that up to make sure. But I think that one was completely.
Just him, like, working out like a madman in his garage was kind of funny, too.
And it with old school weights. Yeah, he drug out some old school weights somewhere and just wailing on his pecs.
Playing some old, like, classic rock.
Yeah. I kind of envious though. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some classic rock on and do my DDP while
Yeah.
yoga and yeah. But and what about like on the ride to work, school / the wife mom / berating him? Come on, Lester, you're gonna make us late again, and he gets in the back and falls asleep. Yeah, I'm just like, yep.
Yep, he's checked out.
But he's now he's like a teenager in the deal.
Yeah.
Just someone else that she's got to nag, and he's running late, and then he falls asleep.
Yeah, he's one of the kids. At
And
this
he's
point.
an adult that has to sit in the back.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that, to me, I was just like, really? He's accepting this role. Yep, he is. He's going to sit in the back and fall asleep like a teenage kid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, a lot of good.
so some little nuggets in there of comedy that
Just
in a super serious
you
film.
have to laugh at his plight a little bit. And just his whole character.
But all right, so
Solid movie.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
So
very, very entertaining.
who's got
film.
next
I
pick?
think it's Joe. Next.
Yes.
Joseph.
Yes.
You gonna throw it out now so people can catch up, or you gonna throw it
Yeah.
up surprise?
Yeah, let's throw it out now.
All
I'm
right.
going to kick things back a few decades.
Is this your movie? Your pick?
Yeah, this will be my pick.
Any help from Cena?
No.
Okay. So
No.
no outside help. Let the record show Joe is making a pick here, and it is of his validation.
And it's going to be a John Belushi classic.
Ooh.
Yes. The Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers. So kind of a musical.
Yeah, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, 1980.
I like it.
So if you want to watch ahead, it is for free right now on Peacock.
Nice. Okay. The Blues Brothers. I dig it. I've seen the Blues Brothers a long time ago, and I've seen snippets here and there, but it's been a long time.
That's like me. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Yep.
Now, I remember going to the Roby and seeing Blues Brothers 2000, and I remember it kind of flopping.
Was it a different movie or what?
It was supposed to be the sequel, but they
Ah.
had Dan Aykroyd or John Goodman play John Belushi's character.
I've never seen that one, so
Okay, I even have it on VHS, so if we want
I don't want to see it.
you don't want to watch it after
You
this
already
one?
said it's bad, so
Well,
no.
now this was 20 years ago, Dave.
Still.
So, okay, so we're not even going to play the.
No.
We watched the first
Look
one.
what
that we
happened to
had
Mad Max. Look what happened to Mad Max. I'm just going to draw you back to that.
Okay, well, how
I'm
about
still
this?
hearing about it, and it's been like 6 months.
Okay, but this is a prime opportunity to throw me under the bus for a
Nah,
while.
I'd rather everybody just avoid that pain of watching the terrible sequel.
Okay, well, let's do this. Well, let me pull up Blues
Oh,
Brothers
God.
2000, see how bad it rates
Oh,
online.
gosh. All right. I like it, though. I feel like this is a solid pick out of you, Joe. Blues Brothers. I like it when I don't know. Have you guys seen it?
It's been a long time.
I don't remember anything about it.
All right, yeah. You remember the bar scene in the honky tonk bar. It's like, we're going to play some country.
I love the restaurant scene. How much for the lady? How much for the little girl?
Yeah. There's a lot of good scenes. A lot of one-liners. So this will be a good week.
Yep. That'll be
Okay.
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah,
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers 2000 is horrible on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ah, yeah.
46% tomato meter, 37% audience score.
See, Joe, I'm saving you from yourself. Okay. All right, well, take us out of here. It's been a great show. I like it. This is rejuvenating to have a good film and then the prospects of another one.
There we go.
So
Joe, take it away.
So no pressure for you, Justin, but you got the next pick, and
You're gonna like
it better be good. That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna like it, I think.
Is it when you was telling me?
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. I'm not no spoilers,
Yeah.
but Justin's pick's going to be interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Save
I don't know
my
what you're
pick.
talking about, so we'll see.
Let's see. We'll
Okay,
see.
so
Howard the Duck too, isn't it?
exactly, it's the Quack Pack.
Yeah, gosh. All right, tell everybody where they can find us, and then yeah.
All right, so all of our reviews and information and show notes are at beentherewatchthat.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at BTWTPod for all that. And be sure to send us a list or tell us how accurate or inaccurate we are on our ratings. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Been There, Watch That, hosted by Anchor.fm.
Yeah, and be sure to talk Joe out of Blues Brothers too while you're at it.
No, Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, whatever.
I say, well, I'm just going to
You
save
know
that.
what I'm saying.
Now, I'm going to save that for my next round, so then you have to watch.
Oh, gosh. Cruel and unusual punishment.
So you guys better be nicer. I will keep that in my ace in the hole. Just
Oh, boy. All right. All right, for Joe, Justin, and myself, we were out of here. Been there, watch that. Check out our other shows, and we'll be back next Wednesday for more fun in the sun. Or actually, we're not even outside. We're inside the studio, so more fun in the studio for our movie picks. And next week, excuse me, Blues Brothers, Joe's pick. We'll be back.